You're live on the Sleazecast. You're live on the Sleaze. Remember, go to askpapasfolio.com if you want to submit a call. Eric, you're on the line.
Am I allowed to drink alcohol?
Well, I'm your papa, but I ain't your daddy. So, are you allowed to? It's not good for you objectively. It's just not. Most people don't realize how bad alcohol is until they actually stop drinking for a while. So, I encourage you to not drink for a few months at least, and then you're going to see how hard it hits. So, am I allowed? I'm just going to be honest. I don't give a fuck what you do. I do, but I don't. Like, I'm not going to lose sleep. I'm going to be like, you can't. I'm not here to tell you not to do something. If anything, I'm here to encourage you and maybe satirically be like, no, you shouldn't fucking drink. But people can listen to this podcast and be like, well, I'm going to drink anyway. Okay. Right. You know, I'm not babysitting you. So are you allowed to? Sure. You're a big boy. You're legally and morally, I mean, you're allowed to. And just because you can, this is the classic, just because you can doesn't mean you should, right? Just because you go put a dirty, bleeding AIDS dick covered in COVID in your mouth doesn't mean you should. Am I right?
Matt Damon.
Am I right? So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Am I allowed to? It's not good for your health. Anyone that tells you, oh, it's just a little drink, or it's just everything in moderation, that's nonsense. If you want to do the everything in moderation game, prepare to get no fucking results. Prepare to not make amazing progress. Prepare to not self-actualize. Like that's the biggest fucking excuse. That's the biggest pussy victim excuse. Well, everything in moderation. Sure, keep your addictions. Justify that to yourself. You're going to regret it. I'm not saying never ever have a drink of alcohol, but my point is most people don't have. When someone says, oh, I usually have one drink on a special occasion, yeah, right. A lot of people say that. They say they have junk food or they have alcohol one drink a week. Yeah. You know, a bottle of wine is not one drink. Okay? So most people severely underestimate the frequency of their bad habits in a big way because they know they're bad habits. They know they shouldn't. They know it's not good for them. Plus, when you do something repetitively, you don't remember all the individual moments. It's like these fat acceptance jabbernets that think that they eat healthy or that they gain weight by just breathing. It's like, I don't think is breathing between chews. You're not gaining weight. I just look at food and gain 10 pounds. That's because you're looking at it as you're eating it. It's not, you don't gain weight just by looking at food. It's the stupidest thing. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. I mean, it's not good for you. It's not healthy for you. It's not good for your body. It's really not good for your body. Don't believe me? Research it. There's a lot of content out there right now. It's becoming much more popular to quit drinking. I naturally gravitate away from it. I don't drink. And it's not like I don't drink. I stay away from it. I avoid it. We had a whole whiskey shelf because I used to have that with like some cigars. And once in a while, I used to drink. I have some early videos where I was drinking like PBR. I used to drink whiskey. I used to drink beer. I used to have, not necessarily every day, but it was more of a regular thing. And then I just fell out of it. I fell out of it because once I started cutting out other foods, once I cut out like Sour Patch Kids, and I started cutting out, I was still eating liver and grass-fed beef, but once I started cutting out all these other little things, my progress and how I felt was just so much better. I just never went back to it. So when we first moved into this house, we had a whole whiskey shelf. You know, it was all set up, had all the whiskey and all the stuff like on the shelf, and it was a, you know, I don't care about a nice display. And then it got to the point where we were just looking at it, like, why is this here? Why is this here? This is wasting space. It's literally just wasting space. Because one, I don't care what people think. So, and I don't use it. So I wasn't drinking the stuff. We had all the glasses up there hanging, right? I was like, what? This is wasted space. So now we have bands, kettlebell rack there. Some of you have seen that in the Swole fam, but the kettlebell rack, and now we have like all this, like, you know, some shelves and storage for some stuff in the weight room and things like that. And we took all the whiskey, and it's like up on like the cabinets, on top of the cabinets or under the cabinets. We just hit it. I haven't missed it at all. I haven't even thought about whiskey. I think there's like a bottle or two over here just sitting there in a box, like tucked away. And I actually was cleaning up the other day. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot that was here. 'Cause I'm so used to seeing that bottle there, but just haven't had any. No desire for it. Just no desire for it. And the thing is, when you stop doing something like that for a while, you know, whiskey is one of those things, in my opinion. It's an acquired taste. So if you're drinking it more frequently, you start to can taste the difference and like, oh, different flavors. But if you, for me, like from not drinking it for like 2 years, having some is it's probably gonna be like it's probably gonna be like shoe cleaner. It might be brutal. So some things when you go off it for a while, it's gonna hit pretty hard.